Well, let's see. Hopefully you have watched my prep video for how to get ready to do this project. And I'm going to tell you that the first two layouts took a lot of prep work. So this last one doesn't really take that much prep work. So I want to just start making these last two layouts first. So this is project 3 of the Isabella scrapbooking workshop, and we're going to start with layout 3 and then I'll work through the other two. Hopefully you've looked at the Isabella prep videos, and yeah, I had to get up and leave and take care of my daughter and, you know, mom stuff. So now I am to the point where I am ready to put together these two getaway layouts. And I have tried to separate out, you know, page 1 from the page 2. So I'm going to lay page 2 over here out of my way a little bit. This is the directions. And basically this page, the only thing it has is this one layout of this rose. And if you saw earlier, you will have already seen this technique, but if not, you're just joining me, that's fine too. I'm going to get out my water brush, and I do not have the flamingo pink, but I have this ballerina pink. And if you look, ballerina pink is very close to what we got going on this page. I think this is going to look just fine. I think there was a little bit of wild berry on my brush, my water brush, but what I've done is I've gotten ink, this ballerina ink, on the cover here, and I'm mixing it up, getting a little water, and if I need a little more pink, I'm just gonna go pick it up, bring it back in, and we're just making a little bit of a wash, and we're gonna color this white daisy white cardstock and make it slightly pink. Now if you don't like this technique, you don't have to do this technique. If you've got a little piece of the ballerina or pink cardstock, you could always put that behind it. But this is my way. I'm sorry, I did that all off camera, darn it. I pick up the color and I just dab it on. You can sponge it, you can paint it, you can do whatever you want. So I have painted that on with my water brush. So if you need more ink, just squeeze your ink pad to get more ink onto your lid. That's how you do that. I'm going to get it up and out of the way here. And then all you do is to put this on here. I'm going to put it on. And what I am going to do is I'm going to carefully draw around it so I know where to cut. I love to fussy cut, so I am a big fussy cutter, but I also love my die cutting machine too. That is awesome. So now that I've drawn around that, you know what I'm going to do is, to make sure I don't get any pencil marks, I'm going to cut just inside that pencil mark, and that way it also won't show. Now, if you've got more time, you might want to let this dry before you do this. Another way that this could be done is, I want to add some more pink. I really want this pink to show, but it's that ballerina pink, and so it's very light. Not like the flamingo pink. The flamingo pink has more pink to it. So that's the difference between the ballerina and the flamingo. But you can see my paper's a little wet, and so I kind of ripped it a little bit there, but that'll be fine. So what I'm going to do is, I still don't have quite enough pink on here. And you're probably going to go, what are you doing, Sandy? But I'm going to take my ballerina ink. I'm going to lay my flower down there on it, and then I'm just going to press it to pick up some ink. And then carefully pick it up. There, now we've got some more brightness. And you notice it's not all the same, which I kind of like. And you're going to see why. Because when I put my flower on there, it gives my flower kind of more shading and depth. And you see that is not going to be easy to glue on there. So I'm going to use this glue. Because I'm sorry, I know they recommended the glue dots, but I do not have the micro glue dots. And the glue dots just made it really clumpy. I mean, they were too much for this. And this is my art glitter glue, and it's very good at holding things like this. And I'm just going to put a little glue on this. And you notice I'm doing it over the shape, and that is so that if something runs through, it'll get on the pink thing and not my table. And then I'm just going to see how some of the glue got through. The nice thing is this glue dries clear. And it looks a little gloppy right now, but I promise when it's all said and done, it's going to look great. Now, I do not know what that black is there. I do have issues with anything black in there. So that is the pink part of the flower. We're going to lay it over here to dry. And now we'll work on this page. You can use glue, you can use tape runner, you can use whatever you want. But I'm going to get out my Versamat. There's my Versamat. The nice thing about the Versamat is all around the outside edge are rulers. So it helps when lining things up. I'm going to collect some things up off of here. Did I do the wrong one? It's all right. There's another one. I'm going to pick them up here and lay them to the side. I know they all go on this page, so that's how it goes. And this is our first piece. And if you look at our directions, this first piece, we've sponged the daisy cardstock to make the accent, and we've attached the paper behind the acrylic. Now we use the white cardstock for our base page, and then we add. It says 3A, which is this. That is the blue speckle paper. And I'm looking for my stickle. Here it is. It's up to you how much you want to use. I usually use more on the bottom pieces because you want those to stay in place, and less as I get farther up because obviously they don't have to hold on as well. So this is the bottom piece, and it needs to be, if you look at the diagram here, this blue piece is, I'm looking for the for where? Of course, I did it backwards. I'm known for that. So, put that down. We get our white strip here. We need this white strip along the bottom. So we have to build up to that piece. And I just ran out of tape. So I am going to use, this is offered by Close to My Heart. It is called their adhesive tape. And it's basically red line tape. It's adhesive, double-sided adhesive. And what you do is you place it down. But this red line, I'm used to tearing. I like the tear tape better. But this is offered by Close to My Heart, and so I wanted to try it. So there is that. Once it's down, if you use one of your tools and burnish it real good, because you don't want it to come unstuck, and then you pull off the red tape, then you have a good sticky strip. And I'm going to line it up here with the bottom. And it lines up right there. Okay. And then there is a pink strip here. It's very thin, so this will work great for here. You just line it up, put it on your strip. You can put as much or as little on it as you want. I am not very good at working with these tapes. I like tape runner better, but we all need to try it and see what works out best for each one. That's what I say. So I'm trying it, and you can see I'm making a mess, but that may be because I'm trying to use too much of this tape. So I'm going to trim it, see what happens if I get back online. There we go. I'll get back. And there we go. And we'll trim the end. These are the tiny tip scissors. They're supposed to be, they're not supposed to stick to much, which you can see they do stick to some, but they're definitely not as sticky as if. Now I'm going to quickly run my burnishing tool over that to make sure that it's good and stuck. Then I pull it up. And this basically turns the strip into washi tape. And you have to figure out how to pick up just the red piece. If you have problems, get out my pokey tool. It's a new tool I just got. The pokey tool will help you if you take off the guard. Get up underneath there and release the adhesive from the red tape. There we go. So you can also find this red line tape at the Dollar Tree for $1. But let's see. Let's try and get it straight. And we'll put that right down there. Get a nice straight line. Then we get our blue. And our blue goes just above that. and get it straight with our paper. I still don't think that was straight. Don't be so picky, Sandy. No one's going to notice. So anyway, we get that laid down. And then there's a yellow X piece that goes along here. And that goes from end to end again. You can either use this red line tape again, that went much easier because the strip was wider. But this red line tape, let me see. Does it say how many feet are in it? Where was my little bag? Here it is. Yes. It's 4 yards or 3 times 4, 12 feet long. So you don't want to do 12 feet a lot because that's, I've already used 3 feet of it or a yard. So that's how quick that goes. But I do know this sticks and sticks very well. So now we're going to line this up here along this edge. I'm going to turn it slightly because do you see that blue along the edge there? It won't show up against that blue. There we go. So there's that. And then the top pieces are, I put this pink one, put a square, kind of like a quilt, the way this is done up. So here's the quilt, and that's not the right square, but here's this square. This square goes right there, and you can see there is not enough space for that. So obviously, I have done something wrong. Not uncommon, but we can fix that. Now we're going to put this one here. This one goes right here next to it. And then there's this one. And then this one. And none of these are lining up like they should. Or I'm not giving them enough space for their border, I guess. Okay, so what I am seeing here, because I'm in the middle of doing it. Remember, I try not to edit out my mistakes because I want you to know that mistakes happen and sometimes you have to figure your way out. So there are these pieces, and what they want you to do with these pieces is basically to put them up on a foam tape or a foam square. I've got bigger foam squares here, and make them stand up more. So this one kind of goes right here. So I'm going to put this foam square on the back. And we're going to pull this up. So that one gives it just a little bit more stand-up quality. This one here is right here. So we want to make it stand out just a little more. And so we want to line that up with that spot and then press down our square. So then it has more of a shadow to it. And then these ones, where else did we have? This one here is turned like this, and it looks like there's a plastic something over that to make a star. And this one here is not the one they had here. So let's look on this other square. Yeah, this one is this one, I think. Because I'm looking at the patterns and I'm trying to figure out. This one definitely fits this one or this one. And I kind of like it on the 4 because it's across from one another. I like that. So I'm going to pop this one up. Obviously, you can pop up whatever ones you want. When you're trimming it out, you pick out the ones you want and pop them up. You have lots of extra of this paper in this kit. So there's that one. And I was going to not put that one there because that's in that corner. So I need to look. This one is not on here that I see. This one looks a lot like none of those, but it's down here. And since, you know, I've got one down, and let's pop this one up down here in the bottom. Again, like I said, I like directions and I like to know what looks good, but I have a tendency to do my own thing. And here I am, I'm doing it. So this one matches down here, down along the bottom. And so I'm going to pop one of them up. Pop that up like that. One of these is popped. And this one does not have anything popped. So let's look at my squares and see if there's anything. There's that one. Ooh, and that one's perfect. We're going to pop that one up on this one. You can either put the square on like I just did. Again, these foam squares that I'm using are from the Dollar Tree. You can get them for $1, or you can buy our foam tape if you can afford that, which I can't. So I use the foam dots from the Dollar Tree. So I like that one. And you see how much room I got there? I need this to move. I need this to move. So my new tool. We're pulling this up. I'm so glad we used that red line tape that sticks so well. Can you tell? It does stick very well. Yep. Trying to pull that up as carefully as possible. Now what you're going to want to do is I'm going to take my scissors and trim off all those fuzzy edges. But now what we're going to do is, yep, we're going to pick this up. Oh. Now, should I be hiding this all? Probably. But I'm not going to. husband will not edit this out because guess what? We've all been there, right? And you want it to look right. You don't want it to be wrong. So you pull it up. Now, I have extra daisy white cardstock. I could, you know, have just cut these back apart and then restuck them down on new daisy white and left the daisy white under it. That's another way to fix this. But I'm pulling it up because that's what I want to do. So, it's a little messed up, you can see. But now what we're going to do is we're going to put new stick-em under there. I have got to get a tape runner. Okay. And here I've got a new tape runner. Now, we lay down some new tape. And we definitely get this mess up off there if we can. As you can see, my AdTech Crafter's tape definitely works quite well. And that is what I had on here before. Obviously, I'm adding more because I'm not planning on picking this up again. Now, this time, I've got that 1-inch border down there. I am definitely lining this up with that. And I am laying it down nice and flat. See? Now, you do know we got to fix this. So, we find our little scissors. We trim off those pieces that we don't want showing. And it's still kind of sticky, so, but remember, it's got a layer of the paper on there too, so. Now, I am going to lay down a roll of my AdTech, and it's probably a little wider than our strip, but that's going to be okay, because we're going to lay our strip right down there on it, like that, and lay it right there. When this has your photos on it and everything's on it, you are never even going to notice this. I'm just telling you. Now, I don't know where my adhesive remover is. I think they have one of these in the catalog. If they don't, you can find them at Walmart. Or I think they even have them at the Dollar Tree. And it's just a little rubber square, a lot like an eraser. And I haven't used it in so long, I do not know where it is. There is some more adhesive tape runner. Okay. Well, it works just like an eraser does, okay? And it basically just helps lift up that extra adhesive there. And see how it just kind of rolls up. And it's going to stick to those weird edges that's on your paper. So it's going to take them up too. See how that cleans right up. So yes, even if you've made a catastrophe, you can fix it. Remember, if it was going to be perfect, it would not be handmade, okay? Because we made it, we are not perfect like the like a printing press or whatever else. So glad I used that red line sticky tape. It is very sticky. Very sticky. But there you go. Now I got it off. My piece is still intact. We got it off. Now, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to line up these top squares before I put that on. It's probably how the directions said to do it, but I didn't. Because like I said, I like directions, I just don't like to follow them. So we're going to put this square right here in the corner. And since it's a pretty big square, I'm going to pop it up to make it stand out more. And we are going to place it right here in the corner so it's lined up perfectly. There's that one. Then it's got the 6 square goes next to it or over just a touch. And it wanted me to leave these little borders, but if you notice, there's not a lot of room for these borders. So there's that. I'm going to stick this one down. That's not yellow, right? There we go. The AdTech has 2 different kinds. There's the white roll, and then if you look at this one, this has got a yellow inside. That means it's removable, or, you know, which is nice. But you don't really want to be taking on and taking off your stuff, and you don't want it to be removable after you get it down. So that's why I use the permanent most of the time. All right, and then from that 6 piece, then we go to this pink piece. We are going to give it some room. So there's some white border around it. And we're going to stick it right down here. And I'm trying to line it up with those other 2. So there we go. That leaves just a little white border at the top. And then we have this piece. Look at how much room we have for it. That does not seem right, but that is. And I think they had it turned around like that. So that is our room for that. I'm gonna put it down just a little bit, and there we go. That is that. Now, again, I'm gonna run a strip of my adhesive here along this border. I doubled it just a little bit. And we are going to place this piece down, leaving just a touch of white there, because we want it nice and straight. So if we look, it's at the 2.5. So we get this end here at the 2.5. And then we secure it. If you don't press down, you can pull it up. So, whew, that nightmare is fixed. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Still not liking this edge here. Still want to do some more cleaning up on it. Of that adhesive, because what we're going to do is now we're going to place our photo frame, and because this one is nice in the center here, we're going to make sure it gets placed in the right place, and it's actually up and over some of those squares. And it's kind of like right here in the center. So here's 4 over and here's 4 over. So between 4 and 8 is where I'm placing that. And up just a little bit over our squares. And you know what? Since that's the center photo, that is a perfect one to pop up because it's in the center. So, where are my squares? Here they are. I'm going to put some squares on this. And then I take off my backs. Now let's look here again just to make sure, because I believe this is 4 1/4. So we center it between that 4 and that 8, or right on the 6, and then we flip. Only if you're as strange as my husband can you tell that that might not be perfect, okay? So that's that and that. And then we're going to put these other 2 photo frames on either side. And we're just going to equally space them on either side. Now remember, these are the photo frames. There's the 8 and the 4. So that would make them centered on the page up and down. Okay, I'm going to do that to the other side too. Again, here's the 4 and the 8. If we center between the 4 and the 8 and we bring it in, we're going to get that just right. And then, oh, they've dabbed the center of this flower a bit. So this flower, I want to put up on foam. And the other thing I want is, because it's right here next to this frame, I want to make sure that it's not covering or not blocking me from putting a picture in there. I'm going to put another square there. And then our other flower is going to go down here too. So I'm putting my squares, I'm carefully putting them where I want them. And then I'm pulling this up If you have issues with getting this plastic off of there, you can either use this tool. This tool works very well, okay, rather than trying to use your nails, or your pokey tool works really great too. Either one works. And then, looking at my picture, I see I need some more pink ink. And this I'm going to use the dabbing thing, okay? My sponge, I'm going to dab on this ink pad and pick up some ink on there. Then I'm going to look at my flower, and I just kind of did it here in the center. And I'm just going to give it just a little more color. See? Just like that. And you know what? I just stuck that to my squares. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to carefully locate my flower. You can decide exactly where, but there looks good. And then my one that I made earlier, this one is going to go right there, kind of right here. So I'm going to put another square under it. Up and under it. And then I take the backing off. And then I can stick this down right there. See how pretty that is? And then now we have the word or the letters getaway. And that is part of our sticker sheet right here. And I am terrible at lining things up and getting it just right. So I'm going to show you a trick. I'm going to cut out my word from the sticker sheet. Okay. So, if your word is lined up, but they're all separate little stickers, okay? First, cut it out of your sticker sheet, and then pull up everything around your sticker. Like you're weeding it if you're a Cricut crafter. If you've worked with vinyl, you know the word weeding. So you're going to weed your letters out like this. Whoops, Y came off. There we go. Got back down. We still have our A's there. I'm going to stick this over here somewhere, like on the back. And so this word is going to go like right here. But you notice it's up underneath that flower. So it's actually going to have to be up on top of here. And I want it up just a little bit. So it's going to go right there. Let's get the centers of the A's out of there. And what we're going to do is we are going to gently fold back the carrier sheet that the alphabet letters are on. You see how I'm gently folding back that carrier sheet, and there are the bottoms of the letters. So now what I'm going to do is, here's my tool. Let's make sure I'm in frame for this so you can see. I'm going to lay my letters down And I'm going to use my tool and I'm going to stick them down. At least the bottom half of the letters, okay? This is a technique to make sure that you get your letters all on straight and with, you know, that they're not in the wrong. They're spaced properly, okay? That's the biggest thing about letters, is getting them spaced properly. Then I pulled it off. Now I can go in and gently put them all down. There we go. And there's our word, getaway. And it's on there pretty straight. Yay! I did it. There is one of these cool little medallions. It's the white acrylic, and this is art glitter glue. Art glitter glue is great for holding down things like this. You could also use your hot glue, but this will dry clear and he'll not move again. And we have this one in place. Is there any other little things? I don't think so. That's pretty much that. So that is the first page of the getaway. Now, oh, there's the sticker. There's one other sticker on here. And it says, another fantastic. And you notice it's kind of over the photo. So, I don't want it to stick to my photo. So I'm going to use this is my anti-static buddy, but all it is powder. And I'm going to add a little powder to the end of this sticker because I don't want it to stick to my photo. And I'm going to stick it right here as well as I can to the flower, and then there. And you notice now it's not sticky here. So it's a little tacky, but not as sticky as it normally is. And that's not sticky. So now when I get my photo, however big it is, I'm just going to show you with this, I can still slide my photo in there underneath that. Same with over here, when I put my photo in, I can slide it in. Isn't that neat? Because of using that 3D tape. So, can you see all of that? I'm going to lift it up, give you a better view. It says, another fantastic getaway. And that's my little photo holder. That is this completed page. Whew, we learned a lot on that one. Now we're going to go do the other one. Now we have the second page to this layout, because of course when we have our books, we have 2 pages. We want to have a 2-page layout. And this is the second page, and this is going to go together so much easier because we learned all of the pitfalls on the first one, didn't we? So, we now know we want to flip our page to our second page of the layout. And this has got some journaling squares on it for writing on. But you can see here, we put this one in this far corner. And then we put this one right here. And we have this one and this one. So we know we can kind of lay those out, spread those out. Here's our bottom one. Okay, we're going to obviously line that up. And you can see I did not cut real straight across here. So we can cover that up with the blue paper. But it kept saying it wanted me to keep that white line, and I did not know, I was having a hard time seeing it. So now we have our tape. I want to make sure I'm in screen for all of this. Let's readjust a little bit. Can you see what I'm doing? Okay. I'm gonna put my adhesive on here. Oh, it's time to go get my daughter. I did not get done. Hello, I am back from doing my car duties, and we're gonna try and finish up this page real quick. There are some pieces on here, and I wanted to do some more popping up like we did on the other one. So I found a couple of squares that I liked right here, this one and this one. So I'm going to pop them up on some squares. So and let's see, because I want to follow through with what I did on the other page, and I did pop up a couple of these squares like that one, and then this one goes up here in this top corner. Thought that would be a good one to pop up. So I line it up and stick it down. All right. This is the fun part of constantly going in and out, in and out. So we have this little piece here. We have all of these frames here. Picture framing. These are our boxes that you can I don't know how they made it look like they printed them, but anyways, you can do that with like paper and then print them and cut them. But if I'm gonna pre-stick them, I'll probably have to handwrite them. Let's see. Again, we now know this blue box needs to go right up against that bottom spot. So we stick it. And since this is the base of the page, I want to make sure it's well stuck. So lots of stickum. I think I get the word stickum from my dad. But anyways, so we lay that down nice and square. And remember, I kind of got an off cut right there, so I may be off a little, but we will fix it with our little stripe here, our strip. We'll lay that down right there along the bottom. And I'm going to try that adhesive tape again. This time I'm going to put it down where I want it to be sticky, like this. Like that. See, we're always learning different ways to do things. So once it's down, then you want to make sure you burnish it real good so that then you can pull up the red tape part. And if you have a problem with it, remember your little pokey tool works very good for separating the red line tape from the adhesive. I've got a piece of paper stuck in it. There we go. So the best thing is to make sure it's burnished really good. If you're wondering where I got my basically this is a bone folder. It's an EK Tools. I think I got this one from Tuesday Morning. They had it on sale there, and so I picked one up. But you can use any bone folder, scissors, anything you want to help to press down or fold. It's the tape. And then we use this little strip and we place it right down there along where we want it. Look how much better this side is going. Yay! Because we learned on the last one, right? Okay, I'm gonna flip it over so we can get this placed properly. And what we're going to do is we're going to place our pieces here, and we kind of want to make sure that they're fairly evenly placed. That's what I didn't do the last time. So evenly place them so that they have a nice white border around them. Look how nice and neat that is. That look good. See, I've got a couple of them popped up. Perfect. We're just gonna put some adhesive on these. Straight. Place it down. Again. Let's give it some space. Let's see, does this fit better? Turned? Nope. Okay. We'll just place it down. There we go. Again, this one. This one here. We want to place it fairly well. There we go. And then this last one, we make up the difference and we place it on there nice and straight. Then we add our adhesive here along the top, and we place down our strip, leaving a little bit of white, and getting it nice and straight across there. Isn't that sweet? Perfect. This feels a little off. There we go. So now we have a nice straight piece. We're gonna flip it back. Oh, thank you gifts are in the way here. If you make an order, I send you a little thank you gift, and these are my options. So stick that back up there, and then let's see here. We have, if we look at the design, this first one here goes down in the bottom corner, up just a little, over just a little, and it has two little flaggies out of it. So let's see. One of them is pink, and the other one is this. There's a little green one. Where is it? I remember seeing it. There it is. Down in the corner here. Is that what I'm looking at? I guess it's like it's a tan or a taupe color. It's this little sticker right here. But you notice it's the same size and they overlap one another a little bit like that, and they are behind this one, so I'm going to stick them behind it like that. I'm going to kind of eyeball it and stick them back there, but then so that they don't land on top of a picture, we're gonna also use my little buddy here to make that one sticker not sticky, because we don't want it sticking to our photo. And I'm going to pop it up, so I'm going to use my little pop-up squares here on this. So one right there. I'm going to do 4, 2, 3, and 4. Now, because I use my little powder buddy, I want to make sure that I dust off what I do want to stick. And we're going to stick this one down. Should be ½ an inch over from the side. Again, I get my foam squares from the Dollar Tree. These ones I actually get from the home improvement or the tool center. I think they stick really good. Now we're going to line it up with over about ½ an inch, up about 1/4, and there's where our first photo goes. Now, if we get that one in right, the rest should fall into place. So, this bigger one is going to go right up above it. And see how it slides underneath the little flags? And it's going to cover up the X's. But I guess that's okay. So there's that one. The other one that's taller goes right here, and it should be over about 1/4 of an inch, like that, lined up. And there's where our other one goes. Then we have another square one, and you know what? Since we popped this one, I'm going to pop this one, just to keep continuity to the design for fun. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then once this is placed, I'm going to try to stick with so I'm in the center and I'm flat. See how well that went in there? Nice and cute. Trying to keep these all equal and even. Then this last one goes right there. So we're gonna put that one down flat. And covering up the square, the little X's a little bit. Line that up. And ta-da! It's pretty good. My family in the future, when they look at my scrapbooks, they're gonna figure out their great grandma or whoever I am to them, that I was a little crooked. Because almost everything I do is a little crooked. So there we go. Then we have these stickers here. And basically we are centering these stickers right here. And in the design, this one is on this side, and this one is on this side. And then these are our 4 little strips. These I'm going to put on with removable tape. The reason is in case I want to do more of a journaling block, or I need to take them off to write on them, I can. Plus, you know, it holds them there so I know what I should be doing in this spot, which is journaling. But if I don't, I can take them out if I have actual, because I like to journal on my computer because I hate my handwriting, and I also can't spell very well, and so I like to use spell check, and I like to use the printer. So there are my little journaling strips, and that's pretty much that page. All done. Now, let's see. There is one. They put one of the flower sticker. This one here. They put right here in the center, I think, and they might have popped it up by the looks of it. So I'm looking for my pop dots, and I'm gonna put it up on my pop dots. And they centered it on top of this so that there's some dimension. Ta-da! Isn't that cute? So that adds a little fancy to it. You look and see if there's anything else. That's pretty much it, it looks like. There goes my phone. That's my son. Sorry about that. That was my son. And that finishes this layout. So when you stick the 2 pages together, you get, ta-da, this beautiful 2-page layout with 5, 6, 7, 8 photo possibilities. Isn't that great? Here we go. So pretty. So that is that. I'm gonna stop.